Welcome to Be the Light 365. I'm Pastor Jake. Today I want to talk a little bit more about pride. I put a little bit of shorts out about it, but I'm going to talk more in detail. And the reason why is because Proverbs says, pride goeth before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. And he goes into Proverbs 11:2, when pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly comes wisdom. In other words, sometimes we can't do it on our own. We've been taught all of our years, you got to do it yourself, or you don't. If you want it done right, do it yourself. If you want something, you do it. But here's what it is. Here's the problem with that. God says, no, I want you to team up with me. I want me and you to do it together. That's what it means to be a Christian. That's why the Holy Spirit's inside us. It's because we're going to be moving forward to do God's will. Well, it's hard to do God's will when you want to do it yourself. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to say, is let your will be done, God. Because we want to do it ourselves. We want to be in control. We don't want to team up with God. That's what this pridefulness is. You know, I've heard pastors say, well, I won't take nothing from the church. Ask them why. They said, well, because over the years, I've been told that it's wrong. And I said, well, what's wrong about it? God says that a laborer is worth his wages. He said, if you don't pay his wages, you're stealing from him. And that's the thing, that's that mentality we have and we're trying to break free from, is that God's there to provide for you. How would Elijah have been if he'd been out in the woods for 3 years and the crows were bringing him food and he said, no, I don't need this, God, just get this food out of the way. That would have been a problem. He would starve to death out in that woods. If God didn't bring that brook down to him, he wouldn't have had nothing to drink. But if he'd been prideful and said, I don't need that, I don't want that, then he would have missed out on blessings. He would have starved to death, it'd have been in. You know, how many times have all the prophets we've seen where God's come in and gave them a word and said, okay, look, that's pride when you say, well, no, God, I don't want to listen to you, I want to listen to me. That's selfishness and self-centered. That's being that son of perdition, as he calls it. In other words, you're better than God. You know better than God. And that's pride. You know, we need to step back, team up with God, let him in, let him help you with the decisions. Let him help you financially. Let him help you get through the day. Because sometimes we don't even want that. Sometimes we get so shameful. That's what it says about shame. It says, with the pride cometh the shame. Sometimes we feel like if we take something from anybody, we start feeling bad inside, have that shame come inside, and then we just feel like we're dirt. Well, that's the devil. He said, you know, those who come with the lowliness, in other words, God, we need you. God, I need this. God, I'm down, I can't do it myself. That was the one thing I had to tell myself for a long time, is I can't do this. You know, and then God asked me, well, who you work for? Me being a pastor, I said, well, I'm doing this, God, I've done this. And he said, well, so you're just working for me part-time? I said, no, I'm working for you full-time. He said, no, you're giving me part-time. Because you're not counting on me to provide, you're counting on other things to provide for you. And that's where we're not teaming up. And that's what took me a long time to get through my thick skull, is because I had learned over the years through, you know, you're not supposed to take this, you're not supposed to get, you know, because everybody thinks it's a handout, but it's not a handout, it's a gift, it's a blessing from other people. Some people are trying to bless you so they can get blessings, so they can get a gift in heaven. So that's how you have to think about it. You have to give it to God. You have to understand that God's there for you and he's helping you. He is the Father. There is no other Father on earth. It says, don't even call nobody else your other Father. Why? Because he's the only Father. So don't let pride get in the way. Don't let it stop you from getting blessings from God. Let God take care of you. You have a blessed day. Thank you.